I simply will repeat, maybe you've forgotten, you were unable to come during the second hearing. Sa ating agenda, maliwanag naman, unang-una, the clarification of the involvement of the ICC, the Interpol, and the various government agencies in the arrest of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Confirmation that measures were taken to ensure that the rights of the former president under domestic law and relevant treaties were properly protected throughout the process, and such other matters that may aid the committee in crafting necessary legislation in the coordination between Philippine authorities and international tribunals and law enforcement organizations. At kinikilala rin natin si Dr. Donald Palma ng PNP at si Senator Bongo na lalahok sa Zoom. So, andito na tayong lahat. Maraming salamat sa pagdalo ninyo. Sa wakas, inaantabayanan kayo ng buong sambayanan. Inaasahan ko, palibasan narito na rin kayo, handa na rin kayo magsabi ng katotohanan at ilahad lahat ng detalye na kinakailangan natin para alamin ang totoong nangyari nung tinangay ang ating dating Pangulo, Presidente Duterte. Sa ganitong paraan, tatanungin ko sa ating committee secretary na kung sakali yung oath of the resource person should now be administered. Those who were not present at the last hearing, ang mga bago dito si Ambassador Lacanilao, sa palagay ko si Yusek De Vega, Secretary Manalo, wala po rito. Yung iba wala rin, si ang ating nurse Cantayoso, sino pa? Si Apo Calma. Yes, Secretary Cactac, wala po kayo dati. Attorney Cañero, wala rin po. Attorney R.G. Bernal, si Justice Ascona. Kung maaari kayong tumayo at sumumpa sa atin, Richard Padulyon rin po.
Kindly raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in the Senate investigation? Thank you. Madam Chair, the oath has been administered.
Yes, maraming salamat. Maraming ibinunyag nung nakaraang hearing. Kaya't mag-umpisa tayo kay Secretary Remulla with a very simple question. Is the Constitution the supreme law over all other laws? Simple lang po.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is also supreme over all other treaties?
Yes, ma'am.
Kapag nagkaroon ng conflict sa Constitution at yung Rome Statute, alin ang maghahari?
The Constitution prevails.
Kapag may pag-iiba sa saligang batas at yung RA 9851, alin ang mangingibabaw?
Ang saligang batas po.
Parati ang saligang batas, di po ba? Maliwanag ho yun. The President has been saying that the country was just complying with obligations and commitments to the Interpol in arresting and turning over the former President to the ICC. For the nth time, liwanagan na lang natin, a red notice from the Interpol is not a warrant of arrest. Is that correct? Perhaps the PCTC can help us here.
Tama po kayo, Madam Chair. Ang red notice po ay hindi siya ang warrant of arrest.
At ang pagka-alam ko, nung November 21, 2024, may nakita ako pero hindi ko na mahanap ngayon, biglang nawala sa ating website, sa DOJ website, isang legal opinion tungkol sa UAE na sinasaad na hindi maaring ang Pilipino ay hindi hayaan umuwi, ano? Maliwanag po 'yun. Kaya't nagtataka ako kung baka naman si Attorney Chan may kopya pa nun kasi ikaw raw yata yung author. November 21, ito tungkol sa UAE to. Walang kinalaman dito sa kay PRRD.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I do not recall having issued a specific opinion on that date, Your Honor.
Would you recall number 50? A memo number 50. It's no longer in the website for some mysterious
opinion
reason.
number 50.
If you could just look it up, we'd be very grateful.
We'll
and
get
we'd
back
like
to you
have
on
a
that
copy.
within the afternoon, Madam
Sige,
Chair.
Attorney Chan, maraming salamat. Ngayon, yung tinatanong ng lahat, yung obligasyon sa ilalim ng isang treaty, ibig sabihin ba, ligtas na sa ating Bill of Rights, sa mga karapatan pantao? Ibig ko sabihin, kapag may obligasyon ng Pilipinas sa ICC, sa Interpol, do we still have to comply with the Bill of Rights that guarantees the rights to the accused and to the arrested?
That's a given.
Certainly, the Bill of Rights is there precisely to limit the powers of the government, and if the government can circumvent the Bill of Rights by just entering a treaty, then the rights guaranteed under Article 3 of the Constitution are no longer secure, hindi po ba? So, can compliance with the ICC obligations allow the government to disregard the Bill of Rights? Hindi po ba? Maliwanag po yun. At for the same reason na talaga ang nangingibabaw sa lahat ay yung ating konstitusyon. So kahit papano napilitan na maaresto at itangay ang dating Pangulo sa ICC dahil daw sa ilang obligasyon, pandaigdigan, kinakailangan talagang sumunod pa rin tayo sa ating saligang batas, lalo na yung Article 3. Talagang sagrado po yun, di po ba? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So, ang tanong namin at tanong ng lahat ng sambayanan, bakit ang pamahalaan, ang administrasyon, hindi muna kumuha ng court-issued warrant galing sa Pilipinas bago inaresto si Presidente Duterte? Why didn't the administration secure a court order before flying the President out of the country? Nung last hearing, may sinasabi si Secretary Remulla na yung nangyari surrender, hindi extradition. At hindi katulad ng extradition, sa surrender, hindi kinakailangan mag-issue ng warrant of arrest para damputin ang dating Pangulo. Tama po ba yun? Kasi yun ang sinabi niyo dati nung
Mga extradition kasi, hindi ho natin pwedeng gamitin dito sapagkat hindi tayo pwede mag-file ng extradition dahil nasa atin po yung tao. Ang extradition po na sinasabi ng batas ay yung court o yung arresting state, yung state pala na may warrant, ang mag-file ng extradition sa Pilipinas. Kaya surrender lang po talaga ang option natin. Wala ho tayong ibang option.
Kabisado ko po yan. Panahon pa ng tatay ko yung extradition law natin. Ako yata nag-type nung bata. Ang tanong dito, under surrender, there's no need for a Philippine court to issue a warrant. Ang sabi po ninyo, that's the stand of the government. Is that
Opo,
correct?
iyon po yung aming stand.
Does this not contravene the Bill of Rights that we've already agreed upon as being sacred and above all else, particularly the right of deprivation of liberty without due process,
Yung due process
and the
po
right
kasi,
of liberty of abode?
kasi ang due process po dito, yung sa issuing body, yung nag-issue po na warrant of arrest if they observe due process. Ang alam po natin, 7 taon pong inimbestigahan itong kasong to, nagbigay po ng notice to sa mga kinauukulan na maaari nilang kasuhan. At pinayagan sila sumagot. Alam ko po yan na binigyan sila ng notice, may mga tanong na binigay sa kanila, pinayagan po sila sumagot. Kung ayaw po nila sumagot,
7
is
taon
our own
ito
look
sa
what.
ibang bansa, hindi 7 taon dito sa Pilipinas.
Opo, habang tayo po isaklaw ng ICC,
Hindi pa rin saklaw yan sa ating batas.
Hindi,
Kasi
ano
ayon
ho?
sa ating batas,
Hindi, habang tayo po ay saklaw ng ICC, binigyan na po ng due process yung mga tao.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
Can I interject?
Senator De La Rosa, please.
May I know from the good secretary, saan kayo nakakuha ng information na yan? Na yung mga
Ganun ho kasi
souvenirs
ang
binigyan ng tanong, pinapasagot yung mga akusado. Saan po kayo nakakuha ng informasyon na yan?
Tsaka sinusubukan po nilang kausapin. Yun po yung alam ko. Talagang,
I'm asking about yung sinabi mo kanina.
natural po yan,
Binigyan.
nakalakaran, kasi kahit anong korte po, ay binibigyan ng pagkakataon na sumagot ang tao sa mga paratang sa kanya.
I was not.
Senator Bato, nakalista ka. Binigyan ka ba ng pagkakataon noong nakaraang 7 taon na sumagot sa anumang alegasyon?
Meron nag-communicate sa opisina ko na gusto akong kausapin. So that's it. Hanggang doon lang.
Siguro hindi
Kinausap
sapat
niyo ba
na
ho?
due process.
Kasi kung kinausap niyo, marahil ay sinabi na sa inyo yung nais na sabihin.
Bakit ko kausapin? Sinabi mo na nga na hindi niyo recognize yung jurisdiction ng ICC. Kayo mismo, from DOJ. Ilang bisis mo sinasabi noon, Madam Chair, na hindi na recognize. Ako pa, i-recognize ko na ako mismo ang kinakasuhan?
Meron
Kayo na
ho
nga,
kasi-
gobyerno na kayo. Kayo na nagsasabi na hindi nyo na-recognize. Bakit ako pa mag-recognize?
Meron po kasing residual powers ang ICC. Yung po
Sabi
yung
ninyo, isang taon lang yung residual power.
Oho,
So,
pero
bakit
yung
2019 to 2020,
yung buong ano ho,
parang bilang
yung
yun?
buong panahon na dumaan mula 2011 hanggang 2018, ito po ay panahon na meron pong jurisdiction ng ICC sa ating bansa, sa ating mga citizen. Ngunit katapos nun, nawala na ho yung itong, hindi na ho na natin maaring kilalanin sapagkat umatras po tayo sa pamagitan sa ICC nung inatras po ni President Duterte noong 2017 na naging effective lamang noong 2018.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, Senator Bato.
Siguro, Secretary Remulla, you are aware about yung dalawang dissenting opinion na sinabi ng dalawang miyembro ng pre-trial chamber ng ICC na nagsasabi na yung jurisdiction, about temporal jurisdiction, ang magti-trigger lamang ng investigation is yung paghihingi ng pag-request ng permission ng prosecutor to the ICC. At ito'y ginawa nila 2 years after nag-effect yung ating withdrawal from the ICC. Ginawa po nila yan 2 years. Kaya nga dalawang dissenting opinion yun eh. So sana, kung tayo, if you want to interpret itong mga bagay-bagay na ito, sana we have to interpret it in favor of our people. Tao natin ito eh. Pilipino ito. Bakit natin papaboran yung mga foreigner na mga banyaga na yan? Sila na nga nagsabi. It was the request for to conduct investigation was triggered 2 years after nag-effect yung ating withdrawal. But then again, Madam Chair, I will leave it at that. Please continue.
Yes, Senator Cayetano, please.
Just a manifestation on that point, and of course, our friend, the DOJ Secretary, can rebut or give a retort. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Justice Ascuna, thank you very much po for giving us time and being here today. Actually, isang main contention siguro yung residual power sa case sa Supreme Court, and as the Justice Secretary said, it's sub judice, and of course, everyone will be waiting for the decision of the Supreme Court. Ang point ko lang kasi, both sides, the pro-Duterte, anti-Duterte, want accountability. The pro-Duterte feels that the accountability is the drug lords, etc. And if President Duterte did something that amounts to a crime, pero ang accountability dapat dito sa Pilipinas at tamang proseso. So doon naman sa gustong i-hold, anti-Duterte, gusto siyang i-hold accountable, siguro naman ay it's safe to assume that they also want yung tamang proseso. So the thing is, there was an actual Supreme Court case, the Pangilinan versus Cayetano, questioning, I think the Secretary of Foreign Affairs noon, kaya named, questioning nga yung kung kailangan ng Senate concurrence yung withdrawal ng natin from the Rome Statute, no, from yung ICC. Pero nakalagay din dun sa case na yon, let me paraphrase, that the Supreme Court can continue to review yung actions nung executive. So my problem with yung interpretation dun sa residual powers, kasi nga, di ba, sa 5 judge sa ICC, yung 2 nagsabing, wala kaming jurisdiction. Kasi nung sinimulan namin yan, tapos na dun sa residual na 1 year. But 3 justices said na pwede. So my problem kasi is walang World Supreme Court eh. So there's only the ICC Court, then the Appellate Court. Unlike kung dito natin final sa judiciary natin, then yung interpretation, whether they still have jurisdiction or not, would have been done under Philippine law. and President Duterte would have been able to present his case not only as to jurisdiction but as to whether or not there is probable cause. So I'll stop there, Madam Chair. And again, I think this is a point of disagreement, but I just like to manifest that, no, that we can argue back and forth whether or not may jurisdiction ng ICC, and the reality is nandun na si President Duterte. But for future cases, whether it's Senator Bato or others named, I gave two examples. No, if suddenly there's a witness from Marawi and they said that our troops killed children and women, and then nag-issue ng arrest ang ICC, or if the military suddenly uncovers a mass grave in any part of the country and says na nilibing yan during 2011 to 2015, I want to know whether the ICC can issue a warrant and then pwedeng idiretso na silang i-expel, i-deport, or whatever we call it. And I guess in the finality, Secretary, is that the Supreme Court will rule on that. No? But just to clarify matters, I want to put that on record. That's what I want clarified, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Maraming salamat kay Senator Cayetano. Gusto ko lang ipaalala, and I think Executive Director Alcantara is here. In the diffusion notice, if we will recall, on the second page, apakaliwanag na nakalagay with a view to extradition. Walang binabanggit na surrender. With a view to extradition and assurances given that extradition will be sought. 2 beses inulit ng Interpol to. Extradition is explicit. Secretary Remulla, kung obligasyon natin, ang obligasyon natin, extradition. Pati yung Interpol, yan ang sabi.
Sila ho ang magka-file ng extradition, hindi po tayo. Hindi ho namin option yon. Yung po, option po nila yon. Hindi namin option yon. Kasi ang option lang po namin, surrender lang. At sasagutin natin ang extradition kung sila po ay mag-file. Under the law po.
Liwanagin natin, ang surrender option kapag foreign national. Ang liwaliwanag po niyan nandito sa ating batas, at hindi rin kayo nag-intay ng request for extradition, even though only 12 to 15 hours as measured by
Wala pong particular reference yung 9851 sa foreigner. Ito po sa offender lang ho, sa accused. Yun lang po ang reference ng 9851.
Makikita natin, kasi kinalkal na natin dito sa Senado, nanggaling rin sa Senado yan, na ang nakasaad sa Article 17, yung dulo, RA 9851, talagang maliwanag na surrender para sa foreign national. Ilang beses na rin pinaliwanag ni Attorney Medina yan sa first and second hearing, na maliwanag na para sa foreign national yan. Kaya mukhang malabo ito.
Sa interpretation po yon, hindi ho sa batas yon.
Nasa transcript po, ang liwaliwanag, may amendment si Senator Subiri at the time, nakalista lahat ng bill spending, pare-pareho po ang referral sa foreign lang, hindi po pwede sa Pilipino. Hindi bale, tulad nga ng sinabi ni Senator Cayetano, we agree to disagree, hindi po pwede para sa amin, maliwanag. And I'd like to call on Justice Ascuna at this juncture. Reference has been made to RA 9851, yung Article 17 nga na sinasabi, na sa ngayon, hindi na yung Rome Statute kasi post-2019 na tayo. No? So, ang huling kataga, pursuant to the applicable extradition laws and treaties. It's very clear, it's the last sentence of Article 17. And in an interview, the former Supreme Court Justice Adolfo Ascuna opined that surrender must be made pursuant to an applicable treaty. And since the Philippines is no longer a party to the Rome Statute, what then is the applicable treaty? Wala nang treaty.